Step 2. Very similar to step 1, but a little bit different. So step 2 is setting and the setting of expectations. So communication, it's important to do that poorly to certainly hinder the team. Goes hand in hand with setting of expectations, especially how we communicate our expectations. Because the expectations, that's what we're going to judge, that's what we're going to evaluate the team on. That's how we're going to treat them, what we're going to use as fodder to say, hey, you did this wrong or that wrong, how we expect it, when we expect it. So we want to make sure that we're, in addition to poorly communicating, that we are setting expectations, and first off, setting unrealistic ones. That's a great thing that we see a lot of successful people do to hinder their teams, is provide expectations that have no chance of succeeding. How do we do that? Simple ways. Create a really complicated event and understaff it. Have something that would realistically take 5 to 6 people to do. Only schedule 2 people to do it. And make sure that you and maybe some of the other staff are around watching the team put it together and complaining that they're not getting it done on time. And saying, we expected it to be done at 2 and here it is, 1:55 and you're not done yet, what's going on? And again, be unrealistic with it. Or, hey, we're going to have a potluck for 600 people at 6 o'clock in the morning. Nobody shows up. They're scheduled till 7:30, so we need to make sure the building is open by 5 o'clock so people can come in. And oh yeah, the room that we're doing that 600, we're having a potluck the night before that we also need to clean up and then reset everything. And we're not going to use the same setup. We're going to use the same room, but we need a totally different setup, totally different. And I realize 3 people are out because they're sick, but hey, it's your job, right? Just do your job. So again, set these expectations, make them unrealistic. That way, no matter how hard your team works, they know that they're not going to succeed. And they're going to have to put up with being told that they didn't make it, that they didn't meet the expectations. The other way, or another way, is to not share your expectations with your team. Have an idea of what you want, be very, make that very important to you, and then don't tell anybody. That way, it comes as a surprise to them when they don't make it, and then it creates upset. People being upset and yelling and getting fussy. Again, they didn't know. We didn't tell them, and that's kind of the fun part, right? You didn't meet my expectations. I didn't know your expectations. Well, that's beside the point. You didn't meet it. Coupled with that is we can not be consistent with our expectations. That's inadvertently we can fall into the trap of becoming consistent with how we expect our team to perform. The minute we do that and we're consistent with that, then our team is able to start anticipating what we need. They're able to plan ahead, and they're able to start succeeding even when it's an extraordinary effort. Because they understand exactly what's expected and what needs to be done, they're able to provide that. So if we can be inconsistent with that, we can certainly hinder our teams better. So how can we be inconsistent with our expectations? Well, for some events, we're going to expect it to be set up 2 hours early. But for other events, we're going to require that the room is sterilized. Not just sanitized, not just disinfected, but I'm saying sterilized before it's set up. Anything less is not acceptable. Other items, the minute a bulb flickers, we can expect it to be changed out whether somebody's in there or not, and we expect them to not be seen when they're doing the work as well. And so again, we can just inconsistency, change the focus, change the priorities, especially if you can do that midstream where you can tell somebody you have to get all the trash taken out right now. And then halfway through you can say, hey, you need to stop whatever you're doing so you can go out and sweep the foyer. Be inconsistent. Create that. It creates that tension again, and it helps our team understand that getting ahead and being efficient and effective is probably not going to be able to occur. And then finally, kind of a fourth tip, if you will, is don't solidly define your expectations. Use as vague words as possible and meanings and thoughts. Hey boss, what should I get done today? Everything, right. Okay, what should I focus on first? The most important things. Okay, how should I clean it correctly? All right, what do you want me to do first? Whatever needs done first. Great. Again, as vague as possible. Try to. It's even great if you can answer a question with a question. Hey, what do you want to do first? Well, what do you think you need to do first? See what I mean? Create that tension, create that confusion. And if we're not consistent and solidly defining our expectations, then at some point, again, they quit asking, and then makes it easier for us not to share them, and then we're golden. We get to go, and we are effectively using expectation setting in a manner that allows us to really kind of damper down the spirits and keep our team hindered.